Muhammad was asked, "Do you know where the sun goes when it sets?" I said, "Allah and his apostle know best." He said, "It goes and asks permission to prostrate, and it is allowed, and one day it, as if being ordered to return whence it came, then it will rise from the west."
The hadith explains, well, it's going around in a circle around the flat earth, right? And it's asking Allah's permission. I actually had a very smart friend. His wife went to Harvard. I think she was a convert, Egyptian friend, one of the guys who runs Quran.com. And he actually told me, how do you not understand this hadith? It's metaphysical about the sun, setting and asking for permission and blah, blah, blah. And I said, no matter how you look at it, the sun is always in the sky in the same spot. Like, there's no way to make sense out of this hadith, because if it's setting, if it's going and asking Allah for permission, but it's there in the same, like you can put a camera on the sun, it's there 24/7. Now, if you want to make it into some metaphorical thing, that's totally up to you. But that's not how anyone understood it at that time. They're making Islam unfalsifiable.
When you bring up the whole issue with the sun not moving anywhere and being right there, what's very funny is I actually made a short video about this stuff, in which I challenged all Muslims and said, hey, Muhammad and the Quran clearly described that the sun goes somewhere, that it has a stopping point, that it goes into a puddle, that it goes to worship Allah at night and comes back in the morning, and it will come back from a different direction, and so on. How can you possibly believe this when the sun does not go anywhere? We revolve around the sun and all that, and the sun is there at that same point. And you know what the response was? One Muslim apologist made a response and said, ha 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 ha, so dumb, the sun is not static, the sun actually moves around the galaxy.
Yeah.
And then they all forgot everything that we said and said, ha ha ha, look, so ignorant, the sun actually moves around the galaxy, ha, case closed. And this is how it works.
That response is comical to me, because they're talking about a 300 million year orbit around the Milky Way galaxy, around the super black hole that we have.
How is that related?
How's that relevant to humanity? Yeah. I mean, it's a joke, right? To actually say that's what the Quran's talking about.
Yeah.
Clearly, everybody thought the Quran's talking about the sun and the moon.
Yeah.
The orbit of the sun and the moon, right? Like everybody, it's so obvious, right? And obviously that's what Muhammad thought. Now, of course, you can try to retwist it or whatever, but reinterpret it in a different way. But it's not a plausible interpretation, because it's just like completely out of place to anything, right?